Apple's spring event is officially happening, and we should be seeing 7 brand new products very soon. We do have an iPhone surprise coming, though it's gonna be a little controversial. We're gonna be possibly seeing the cheapest Mac ever, and a couple of wild cards that could be good or bad depending on your wallet and how in you are to experimental new tech. Let me break down everything we know about this event, when it's happening, all the new products, all the juicy last minute rumors, and also give a big thanks to Plaude for sponsoring this video. So the invites just went out for what Apple is calling an experience happening in early March, and there are a couple of weird things right off the bat with this invite. Number one is pay extra special attention to the colors of the Apple logo because those are gonna be important in a moment. And then number two is that this is the first time in years that Apple has sent invites out at this scale and with this publicity for an event that isn't at Cupertino and the Steve Jobs Theater. Now, back in the day, like 5-6 years ago, Apple used to hold events all the time in different San Francisco venues and New York venues and things like that. And while Apple has had kind of influencer kind of areas to go and have hands-on time with products, this is the first time that I can remember in years that Apple has sent out these many invites with this much publicity for an event or experience that isn't at home base, which is kind of interesting. And we're actually hearing that this is actually gonna be an experience taking place at least 3 different locations around the world simultaneously. And of course, we'll be giving us some brand new products, starting first with a little bit of a sleeper maybe, which is the new iPhone 17e. Now overall, the 17e is basically the same as the 16e, same design, likely the same colors, maybe a dynamic island thrown on there, likely some silicon upgrades, but really the big issue that Apple is fixing with this version is they're finally adding in MagSafe for all of your MagSafe accessories and different wireless chargers. It's weird that Apple made MagSafe such a big deal. Was it since the iPhone 12 series? And it was just a really weird omission not to have on the 16e. Whatever the case is, Apple's finally fixing it, so MagSafe will be there. And word on the street around Apple Park is that this thing is launching really, really soon. So if you're in the market for a 16e, I might just wait a little bit because the 17e is coming soon and giving you more features, better overall experience, for the exact same price. Moving on from that are some all-new Macs. M5 Pro and M5 Max version of the MacBook Pro is expected. Also, a Mac Studio update is coming too with some new silicon. And then really the wild card coming at this event as well is a new lower cost MacBook. We're hearing this would be the smallest screen of any modern MacBook, so maybe around the 12-inch, sub 13-inch size. We're hearing this is gonna be a new design, not a recycled design like the older MacBook Air Apple was selling at a discount at Walmart. And we're hearing the big thing with this is that it's going to have an A-series chip inside. And basically what that means is you'd be getting Apple Silicon level performance that's like iPhone quality. So technically not like M series good, but still should be plenty for watching YouTube, browsing the web. Basically, Apple's really looking to target educational and business customers here for this laptop. And if the price is right, maybe around $600, $700, this would be a really nice entry point into the Mac ecosystem. Last minute reporting from Bloomberg says these will be aluminum and also likely going to match the colors of the invitation. So those colors, like I mentioned a moment ago, are specific, as these will likely be the fun colors this new low-cost MacBook will come in. According to Bloomberg, this also might be the time that we finally see an update to the Studio Display V2. Don't expect anything crazy here. There is some talk that maybe the panel could get better. Really, the big thing we're hearing right now is the refresh rate could get bumped up from 60 hertz maybe to 90 or 120 hertz. So that would be a nice complement to have with your Mac Studio. And then we kind of get into uncharted territory with a little bit more of the exciting things here, as a couple of other things are on the menu for the early part of the year and could be some of the more exciting things we see at this event. One of the things that sounded like a crazy rumor, but continues to get reported over and over and over again from new analysts, is a new version of AirPods Pro. we're hearing that Apple wouldn't really brand these as AirPods Pro version 4, basically an iteration of version 3. But the big thing with this is that these would actually have potentially a new audio processing chip, so for better, potentially higher quality, higher fidelity audio, and then cameras. Like Apple's gonna build cameras into this new version of AirPods Pro, and we're hearing what they would be used for would be Apple Intelligence, okay? And then more importantly, they would be bringing Vision Pro kind of gestures and controls to your music and with AirPods Pro. So instead of having to tap the earbud or use your watch or your phone, you could like swipe into space or like tap like this, or basically use your hands kind of in more normal, natural gestures to control your music. And that would be super cool. And that would be an excellent use case of Apple using the billions they've spent on making the really cool technology for Vision Pro and bringing it to more Apple devices that are affordable and things that actually people are gonna use. So an AirPods Pro kind of version 3.5 with a camera might be something we see earlier in the year, maybe at a spring event. All right, moving on from that, this next device is one that you don't have to wait for a spring event for. You can buy it right now and totally transform your life literally with the press of a button. That's what I've got here. This is the Plaud NotePin S. And think of this thing like an AI digital note taker or a digital assistant on steroids, because this thing will allow you to seamlessly capture whatever your environment is. If you're in a college lecture, if you're at a business appointment, you're in a meeting, you're recording a YouTube video and you want to reference things. What I love about this is it allows me to be in the moment, allows me to be engaged and having a discussion or present in a meeting, but I don't have to take notes. I don't have to fumble with my phone or apps or recorders. This does everything. And then once it's done, I can jump into the companion app and do so much. I can get a real transcript of everything broken down. I can get an AI generated summary. I could even ask the Plaud AI questions about the contents of that recording. And if you've heard of Plaud before, their entire family of products just got a bit of a refresh with the Plaud Note Pro and the Plaud NotePin S. And what I love about the Pin S here is that it's super small. You can wear it like clipped on your shirt like this. You can wear it around your neck. You can wear it on your wrist. It's so small and convenient to kind of have everywhere. You can really make it easy to record. Of course, you want to obviously make sure you're following all local privacy laws, and with an array of different compliances, including HIPAA compliance, you can take this thing to the doctor's office as well. And that is the true thing for me, like to get serious for a moment. The reason I am so passionate about Plaud and their devices is that I actually got a couple of Plaud devices for my family a couple of years ago, maybe a year or so ago, 2 years ago, because my parents were going through a bunch of health issues and I was on the other side of the country. And what I loved about Plaud devices were that they were super easy to use. Literally just one button my dad could press, and then afterwards he could sync that with the app, and then I could jump in through the web interface and I could see a transcript, I could get summaries, I could share that info with family members. And also you've got the Plaud experience now also expanding digitally as well. So there's a digital desktop app that you can use to easily record digital meetings. I am telling you, there is no single piece of tech over the last 24 months that has transformed not just my life, but the lives of my family members as well, more than the Plaud family of devices. So if you want to see how it can work into your life and your workflow, how it can boost your productivity and take a lot of the stress away for you, you can hit the link down below to learn more. There's a free 30-day return policy as well, so you've got nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. And by the way, I have been recording this entire video with my NotePin S. So in the link down below in the description, I'm gonna leave the raw recording so you can get a whole behind the scenes look at what the recording is like. Check out Plaud devices and check out the behind the scenes recording that I'm recording right now at the link right down below in the description. And then we're also hearing this Apple HomePad thing is actually coming pretty soon. Like at this spring event, Apple could debut this new Frankenstein HomePod with a screen iPad combination that basically is supposed to be kind of the core of your home. You would use Siri, presumably the more intelligent Siri, and Apple Intelligence to control your home, play music, view cameras, things like that. And with this, we're also hearing that Apple would launch into the world of smart home accessories. And we're hearing saying right now they could basically build everything from their own cameras, smart doorbells, smart locks, sensors, maybe even thermostats and things like that. Definitely a whole new subcategory of Apple entering into a new ecosystem with this device. That definitely seems very out of the box and very crazy, but maybe that's exactly what Apple needs to kind of freshen things up and keep things exciting this year. And one of the reasons they're likely doing that is because the competition certainly is not sitting still. In fact, just over the last couple of days, we've seen a blitz of announcements, specifically two I want to have on your radar. Number one is that Johnny Ive and his Love From design consulting firm worked with Ferrari on an all-new EV, and many are saying that what we're seeing here, the elements, the photos of the interior, the different tactile elements and buttons and screens, gives us our best look yet at what the Apple car could have looked like. Also, in a recent interview, Tesla CEO Elon Musk confirmed that Apple was calling and trying to hire away their engineers like crazy back a couple of years ago when they were working on an EV project. So they definitely, for all the talk about that thing being a rumor, there definitely was a real project that Apple was working on. And now we're seeing what that thing could have looked like with a Johnny Ive twist with this Ferrari. And then also one of the most controversial things over the last couple of days is an alleged leaked ad that shows what the new Johnny Ive OpenAI product is going to be. Apparently, it is a new kind of stainless steel looking pair of wireless earbuds, potentially called the Digit, and it seems like there was allegedly a Super Bowl commercial that was going to tease this. Then some were saying that was fake, and some are saying that was real. There really right now, as of filming, is no definitive evidence as to if this was true or not, but we do know for sure, like this is proven fact, that OpenAI kind of acquired a Johnny Ive collaborative company. The two are working together on an all-new device. In fact, Steve Jobs' widow, Lorraine Powell Jobs, is also funding this new initiative, so there's a lot of Apple DNA here, and Apple knows that the competition is heating up in many ways, not just with phones and tablets and smart home stuff, but especially in the world of AI and connected devices. There are a lot of people coming for Apple's kind of lunch, so to speak, so they got to stay on their A game, and especially since Johnny Ive has now turned from friend to foe, kind of competed against them, it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out and exactly what this new Johnny Ive device is going to do and how it could potentially replace AirPods Pro. All right, so that is the news of the week. You let me know down below your thoughts on all this. What do you want to see at an Apple Spring event? Are you excited for maybe some new iPads, new Macs, iPhones, some wild card surprise? Drop a comment down below, let me know. Also, do you think that alleged commercial was real or not? What do you think? Is that going to be the new Johnny Ive thing? Drop a comment. Appreciate you guys as always for watching. Thank you so much. I am Robert Rosenfeld. We'll see you guys in the next one.